Now, if you're an ardent reader of newspapers and other media publications, you probably come across that little notice that media publishers will put in some obscure corner known as retraction. We're being joined by lawyer Roxanne Nelson Fiamapo, who's going to throw more light on what retraction is and what the law says about it. When we talk about retraction, how does the law define it?
Retraction has a place in the law of defamation, and it's simply a form of an apology rendered in respect of a slanderous matter or a defamatory matter having been said or printed in respect of another person, for which you are saying that you are withdrawing the said defamatory matter from the public domain. And so simply that is what a retraction means.
It should be contained in a message that is serving as a retraction.
In the law, it often will contain, first of all, an apology, will contain a statement to the effect that you were withdrawing the information you had put out, either viva voce, that is by word of mouth, or libelously put out, that is something you have said in print, you have written. And then often the closing paragraph will always also be an apology. So apology, opening paragraph, a retraction, that is, you are telling the whole world that you are withdrawing the matter that you said about Mr. A concerning a material B is not correct. You misdirected the public, you misinformed the public, and you are sorry that you have done so. First to the person concerning whom you made out the story, and secondly to the general public for misinforming them about whatever information that is and concerning the person. And then the closing paragraph is always emphasizing the apology. It's not a defense in defamation. If somebody is aggrieved by what you have said, the person will go to court against you. It's not a defense for you to say, oh, but what I said, I have retracted it, I have withdrawn it. But it only goes to lessen your burden, it lessens the liability. It dampens the pain or the liability, the exposure that you ought to have in the law courts.
Between the time that a material is put in the public domain and a retraction is published, is there a specified time frame under the law for a retraction to be made?
The law doesn't define it. The law courts, they also operate like human beings. In fact, because it's man by man, it is operated by human beings. So we always say that the courts, they have a conscience, so they operate like human beings. They will look at how fast you have gone back to withdraw the story, so the reasonable timing, and penalize you accordingly.
Can a court compel you to retract a message, and what could be some of the reasons that an organization or a media house would decide not to retract a publication that they've put out there?
Yes, the court can compel you to do a retraction of the story, and that will be based, one, on the relief the person has put before the court. So, like scenario, when having been aggrieved with what I said, you sue me, you'll be asking the court to first of all declare that the material information that I put out concerning you was defamatory of your person. So the court should declare that the information I put out viva voce on air defamed you. So the court went into the matter and made that declaration. When they do so, your second relief is that, having found for you in relief, one, having declared that the information I put out was defamatory of your person, the court should further order me to retract the story and render, normally this will follow, render an unqualified apology to your person, your wife, your family, your friends, the whole world. It's your second relief. When you don't ask for retraction at all as part of your relief. Maybe your primary relief was to declare that my information was defamatory of your person, so I should pay damages. Court can, on its own volition, on its own accord, order you, the damned person. I have defamed you. So if I have been found guilty, the court will order me to issue a retraction, as part of which I should offer an unqualified apology to you. And so the court itself, given the circumstances of the case, can order you even if you don't pray for. Now, the second leg of your question is under what circumstances would a media house fail or refuse to retract a story that it has put out, is when the information is the truth. If it's the truth, if it's the factual occurrence, then you refuse to retract because you are saying truth. Because truth is one of the defenses in defamation cases.
Me as an aggrieved person sue that where the retraction was placed is not going to be seen by as many people as when the original message was published.
Indeed, it's often consequential to the actions we take. That is, I'll still go back to our scenario. Now, for what I said about you, you are aggrieved, so you have sued. Now, your lawyers will have to argue that because I sat in the studios of TV3 to utter my slanderous matter about you, I planned it, I thought about it before I said it. That's the willful intent, and therefore they should find for you whatever reliefs you have before the court. If you don't indicate in your relief that they should give the retraction the same prominence, your lawyers must be smart enough to realize that they must lace the argument with the further prayer that, my Lord, and this will be to the effect that, my Lord, which is the court, that we are further praying the court that because the defamatory matter in question was uttered in the studios of TV3 at, say, this morning, 7th January, a very symbolic day in the calendar of this country. We are praying that the retraction should also be uttered in the studios of TV3 on a very important day, such as 7th January. Now, if a newspaper will have to render a retraction of whichever material information they put out, then your lawyers will have to also pray the court that it must be given the same prominence, maybe a front page. Okay, if indeed the information was contained, say, the middle page or the back page, you can actually pray the court that, even though it was not placed in the front page, it was so damning that its position in the middle page or back page became immaterial, because the thing just became news. It was so newsy that every other media house picked on it and discussed it. As a result of which you are asking the court that the retraction that the court will order the person who has defamed you, who has been found liable for defaming you, to the newspaper house or media house which has been found liable for defaming you to do, should be given the same prominence. So if it's newspapers we are discussing should be given a front page caption